what's the name? Cabbages? No, sorry. Broccoli.
Oh, and I haven't run the skid loader in a while, so we'll see if I can get it started.
What are you doing, Upper?
The next 4 weeks are non-stop go, go, go. I'm gonna clean up these black raspberries. Just a real light snow, but
Woo! It's raining. It is raining.
we can just not catch a break on the temperatures. They said they put their sheep on pasture a month early.
Oh wow. Not here.
Not here, we barely got grass. That time of year.
What? Summer?
I told you I got just a few trees, right?
Yeah.
I think there's 24 in here. And some of them are very big.
Yeah, they blooming.
Yeah, they've already got blossoms, some of them. Which usually we get them before they get there, but it's just a tad bit later this year than last year. Usually it's the first weekend of the month, and this time it's second weekend, so they're a little further along.
Yeah.
So I just picked these up from our conservation district, which we do a big order with them every year. We also got some grapes and rhubarb.
Ooh.
So try to get those planted. But right now we're going to put these in the basement because we say we're going to plant tomorrow, but it doesn't always work out the way we think it'll work out. So we're going to get these unloaded and down in the basement. So the trees we did this year are tart cherries, sweet cherries, and then we got peaches and pears. All right, trees are unloaded. Now we'll discuss when we're getting them done.
Today I'm going to transplanting this what's the name? Cabbages? No, sorry. Broccoli. This broccoli. And then I will planting or transplanting the spinach. No, oh, I don't know what happened today. Okay, it's not spinach. It's lettuces and salad mix. And then I'll be interplanting more broccoli. So let's go do this. It is very windy outside. Oh, okay, I see. All right, broccoli is done. So now it's time to transplant the salad mix using the transplanter. I don't know, and the paper pop.
Good morning. We can just not catch a break on the temperatures. It is barely going to hit 40 today. We have the next 2 nights should be hard frosts. It's just chilly. And working out here, you know, it's so much more motivating when the temperature's up around 50 or 60 than when they're down at 40. So what we're doing this morning is we're going to try to get all the trees that we got from the conservation district in the ground. Shouldn't take us more than just a couple of hours because we have the skid loader with the auger. Makes life so much easier. We can dig a big hole without even thinking about it. The last year or two, I don't think 2 years ago, but last year we did all of our holes by hand. It took us much longer. So this year we have the access to the skid loader, which is nice. So we have 6 cherry trees that are going in the ground. I think 2 of them are sweet cherries. One of them is a kind of a cross between tart and sweet cherries. And then we have 6 pear trees that are going in the ground. No, that's wrong. 6 peach trees that are going in the ground and 8 pear trees. So all I'm going to do this morning while Jose's drinking his coffee is get these holes dug. So this is our cherry orchard here. We have tart cherries all over the farm because they're so beautiful in the spring and they do really well here. But this is where these first couple are tarts, but then it's a line of sweet cherries. So I'm going to put one here, and then the rest are all going to go along here. What we're trying to do is keep enough room to bring the skid loader down into here and up in the middle of these trees. What we don't want to do is block everything in where we can't get the tractor in or the lawnmower, those kind of things, because it's so much easier when you can mow around the trees or when you can get the skid loader in when you're bringing in things like mulch. It makes life so much easier. Oh, and I haven't run the skid loader in a while, so we'll see if I can get it started or if I will need the man of the farm to come help me.
Try to make Upper. What are you doing, Upper, huh? What are you doing, Upper?
Alright, so we're going to start with the cherries down in this area. Jose's bringing the tractor and trailer with mulch and shovels, and I'll be bringing down the trees. Alright, so as long as we have the trailer with all this mulch on it, we're going to mulch all the trees along the way as we go, because it's so much easier when it's just right there and we can just shovel instead of having to wheelbarrow it.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to do right now. We'll start with these 2 trees in the back, get these couple, and then we'll get planting.
And happy Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day! So what we try to do, this is the graft on the tree here. We try to keep it above the ground, but you can see the roots start right here, so we also want that to be underground. The problem is these trees sink over time a little bit because the soil is soft and we've dug it up. So we want to make sure we have a good balance, that this stays above the ground enough that the graft is above ground and that the roots are underground. So we'll give it a little bit of room to sink, keeping this above ground, keeping the roots underneath. Then we've dug up some sod here. So we'll flip the sod over and put it upside down around, not real close to the tree, away, and then we'll cover that with mulch. We don't usually compact the tree in too much. Like by stepping on it, I do push down with my hands just to make sure the tree stays upright and doesn't blow over in the first wind. But we don't really pack it in there too tight. We want it to be loose. Once we get a few rains, this will sink right down a little bit and it'll be more than compacted in there. All right, I'm sitting on a shit ton of dirt over here. If we get any rocks in any of this, we'll put the rocks down also, because there are a lot of rocks. We live in Rock River Township for a reason, or it's called that for a reason. But there are a lot of rocks. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the places we couldn't dig the holes all that deep because there was so much so many rocks underneath. Anyway, this should go pretty quick today. It'll take us a little bit of time to get all these trees mulched. Jose may have to go get another load at some point. But it's going to be nice to have this project done quick. This usually it takes us a couple of weeks to get them done.
Yeah.
But the trees, you know, our conservation district does a good job of getting them all ready. And so the faster we can get them in the ground, the better it is for the tree. All right, so we just need to mulch this puppy. And then I think you can pull forward to these next two trees and we'll mulch the next two. You want me to push the shovel closer so you can get it? Alright, so we have the peaches and the cherries done. So now we're working on the pears. And of course, it is freezing out here and it's been snowing on and off. Just a real light snow. But man, I'm ready for some warm days. It's just been a brutal stretch this year. Alright, so we have 8 trees going in and they are 4 different varieties. Summer Crisp, Luscious, Golden Spice, and Bosque. Some of them we've planted before in the past and they're doing well over here. It's just adding more to the mix. Okay, so we got all those pear trees in the ground over the hill over here. What we're going to do now is mulch all of these trees. So right along this stretch here are pears at the front, and then there's just a few plum trees, and then pears down the hill to the new ones where we planted. So we are going to get all of these mulched. Jose went to grab the mulch. These trees, we planted a bunch of rhubarb in here. It's never done very well. We're going to try to mulch around it, keep the grass down. I think because the grass and weeds get so tall every summer, it's just the rhubarb can't compete. So we're going to try mulching around those two. There's not very many left out of 20, I think, maybe 8. Jose went to pick up another load of mulch. As long as we're out here, I'm going to clean up these black raspberries. I also cleaned up a couple of pear trees that the snow had ripped some branches off of. So he's bringing that and then put more mulch. We're almost done for the day. Trees are planted.
Yep.
Which high five to that. I'm very happy.
So nice.
It's good to have that project out of the way. What we're doing now is we have this pile of mulch that we need to get out of here because this is where we want to plant grapes. Just because they've never worked out very good for us there, so we're going to try here, see if we can. And it has nothing to do with user error or management error. Oh. It has to do with where they're at, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to mulch these few. These are all of our tart cherries, some sweet cherries, and then plums and pears up on the hill. We're going to get that done because we got to use up this mulch pile.
Yep.
And then that's the last project for today.
Yeah, today.
Yep. I think tomorrow I'll try to get that rhubarb in the ground while you get some beds ready.
Yeah.
Because this week we have to plant all of the onions, we got to plant carrots, we got to plant peas.
Oh yeah.
And then we need to start prepping beds for corn.
Oh yeah.
So it's a busy week.
gonna be busy.
And who's not here?
Oh, Betsy.
Darn pregnancy. Yeah. So anyway, we'll miss her this week, but we got to stay busy.
Yeah.
All right. All right, that was a lot of work, but it's done.
Done. Finally.
Yeah, nice. All the trees in. That's the fastest we've ever done trees.
Yeah.
It went well. I don't know how many trees we have in now, but I'd say close to 100, 115 maybe, 120, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I need to come down and write down all because we keep track of where our trees are. I need to come write it all down. I don't know why I do that, because I'll never remember and we'll just harvest when stuff's ready. And by the time they're ready, we'll have no idea what's going on.
Well, it will be apples, plums.
And this guy eats about 22 apples a week. That's just a rough guesstimate.
Well, by the time when we'll be get apple, I don't know if
You'll be too old to eat apples? I don't think so. All right, that's it for today. Woo, it's hot in here.
Too much.
Too much, yeah. So we got a busy week. We were in the countdown to farmer's market. Yesterday we spent the day planting those trees. And today I want to try to get that rhubarb in the ground. I think grapes will have to wait until next weekend because we need to finish clearing out that pile of mulch.
Yeah.
Which we want to put around this high tunnel. So hopefully we can get that done one day this week. We might have to work on those cold days on those kind of things. But my main goal today is to replant some of this summer squash that it's actually looks really good for having gotten a really bad frost night. It looks really good, but some need to be replaced. And because summer squash is one of our biggest sellers, we need to get those in the ground. Yeah. So I got to get those out of the germination room and bring them out here, plant them. We already did that with the cucumbers like a week ago. Mm-hmm. And they're all looking really good. And then the beans. We're trialing some beans inside because early beans at market will be a fantastic seller. Yeah. So we're trying that. We tried them in a hoop house last year, but they got too weedy and I think it was too chilly. Yeah. Like the ground was just too wet. And beans are very particular. They need very warm soil and they like it a little bit drier. So we're trying them in here and see how that works. And so far, they transplanted unbelievably. Yeah. So hopefully we'll have some early beans at market. These last 4 beds are covered. Those will be peppers, but peppers will be ready to go in the ground in just about a week and a half or so. Ooh. I'm going to try them extra early this year, and then we'll cover them because I want to let those roots get settled and allow for the peppers to grow, because maybe we can get a second batch of peppers this year. Usually we only get one flush, but it'd be nice to get a second flush. The other thing we're going to try to do is get the plastic on this other hoop house this week, because that's going to be tomatoes, and I'd like to get tomatoes in the ground next week, which is a big project. Yeah. And we want to put them in small enough because sometimes we let them get too big and then we have to trellis as we go rather than coming back through and trellising them all. And that is the biggest pain in the butt because you almost need 2 people when they're too tall. Yeah. The weird thing about this year is we're kind of in this, usually by now the temperatures are way up and we get some really nice warm temperatures during the day and we're just not getting that this year. It's a struggle. So the problem we're having is we're trying to get stuff germinated for market, which is on Saturday. I tried putting it in the germination room and like just heating up that soil, but that sun, usually we do it in soil blocks. We tried it in cups this year and it's just not working out because it's just, we cannot get the temperatures right in those cups. It's staying too cool. So I also have to get stuff moved out of the greenhouse into the germination room to try to get things sprouted because we need stuff for sale at market. This time of year, our biggest, the biggest way we make money is on plant starts. And so we can't screw that up. Okay, I think that's everything for me. I was going to plant that other row of broccoli for you today. And then we maybe try to go get some compost from a neighbor's house. Oh, yeah. Because we need compost as we start working these other beds. Yeah. What's your plan today?
carrots, and working on the bed for peas, and I don't know, other thing.
Yeah, we need to get those small beds ready and for the beets. Just, it's a lot. The next 4 weeks are non-stop go, 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 because we have to get the onions in the this week, corn next week. These are all of our big summer crops. Then we will do, wow, what's next after corn? Then we start seeding in the greenhouse, like the winter squashes and the melons. Those take up a lot of room in there. And then also the winter cabbage, storage cabbages, the Brussels sprouts, all of that gets started and has to be planted in the next 5 weeks. So it's just, we're go, go, go.
Non-stop.
Yeah, exactly. And plus we're trying to get other projects done. Like we need to get the fencing fixed. We need to plastic some beds that we want to plastic. It's just a matter of finding time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find time. So we're just going to stay focused. Let's do this.
All right.
All right, first project for me is to get these trays that we need to get germinated out of here and over into the germination room, and then I'm going to bring out the summer squash because I want to plant those today. And then some of the trays that have sprouted in there will come out, because once they've sprouted in the germination room, now the issue we have is it's way too warm in there and they'll grow really fast before market, and then it'll be hard to bring stuff to market. This time of year is a fine balance between too hot and too cold. So you can see here it was warm enough for the peas to germinate, but the beans didn't want to germinate. So we'll get them into the germination room, see if we can't force them. All right, these are summer squashes. These are not for this week's market, they're for next week's market, but again, we want them to germinate and they are not germinating. We put them in these cups this year to save on time, and it's not going to save us very much, I don't think. We're going to be stressing more about whether or not we'll have stuff for market. This here is cucumbers. Alright, so I made another decision. I decided to leave all of the other starts in the germination room because they're not where I would like them to be, so we'll give them some more time. I did bring out the summer squash though, and they're not going to be happy. It is very cold out here. So I'm out here replacing our summer squash. There's quite a few I need to replace. There's some that are in really good shape. What happened when some of them froze is then they ended up shooting out 2 growth nodes instead of just 1. So those I'll probably replant, just because the plant will now be focused on 2 growth nodes, which is probably not a huge problem, but the summer squash tend to be a little bit smaller. And I don't necessarily want that. So I'm going to replant those. So I'll be pulling some that look pretty green, but they're not exactly what I want.
Very steamy here inside. It's very steamy. So this is the small hoopers. The other day we planting here bok choy and peas. No, beets. We do beets here. So this morning I put more plastic here. This one is 4 hole by 8, which means 8 inches apart. 8 inches apart. So that this one is ready. Okay, and upside I'm going to work in here. So here is when I'm going to planting or see the carrots. but first I had to run the two-wheel tractor to make the soil more nice and smooth. For now it's gonna be just two bed, and I think maybe in another week we will planting another two beds more, and then another two more and more until the end of the season. Okay, the other thing I had to do here is, because this bed is not completely free of weed. Yeah, can find this. We still find a little piece of grass here. Well, no grass root. Yeah, the other thing I had to do is we have a rack like about 30 inches wide, so I will be racking the whole bed to try to clear a little more, or clean it up. Try to pull this grass root. All right, this is the rack. So we use this for many things, but the thing we use mostly is to rack it. This bed here behind me, they are a little free of weed. They don't have too many weed. We start this area here. Let me see, 3 years ago, I think. We first thing we put here, it was corn and soybean, I think. I don't remember. But the next year, I think it was garlic and onions, and then last year peas, beets, cabbage, and other things. And now we're gonna put carrots in this one. We try to rotate every year. We don't try to put the same crop in the same spot every year. So it's getting better. I like it. I getting better. I'm gonna mark the bed with this thing to see how many row I'm gonna planting, how many row of carrots I'm gonna planting. I think this time I wanna try 5 row. Last year I think I did 6. It was not very well, not really good. So this year I want to try just 5. We've been trying 4 rows, but it was good. But sometimes the carrot, they don't germinate really good. So I think that's why we're gonna try 5 rows this time. Woo. It's raining. It is raining. Yeah, I thought I could do something this morning, but with this rain I can't do anything outside. So I think I will going to some weeding inside of one of those high tunnel or small hoopers. I don't know which one.
All right, staying focused this week on planting. There's a lot to do. Jose's getting the beds ready for the peas, which means they should be able to go in later today. I'm gonna work on the beets because he got those beds ready yesterday, and beets, small little soil blocks, can go pretty fast. We also want to put some more celery in there because we have celery ready to go in the ground. And then I probably will put some dill and possibly fennel in there depending on how much room we have left. So that's what I'm working on. You can see there's more trays that are getting ready to go in. Those are like a week out maybe. It's just like a never-ending tide of starts this time of year. So you just got to stay focused and do what you can do every day and hope it all gets done. After peas and beets, the only thing we have left is one bed of kohlrabi and cabbages, which are these 6 trays here. Then we're pretty much caught up. Except for all the onions have to be done this week. It's of course another chilly and windy day here on the farm. It looks like we're about to get into warmer temperatures. We're keeping our fingers crossed because it's just been a cold year. I was just watching some other YouTubers over in Europe that said their spring came really early and it's warm. Maybe we could trade a little weather with them.
Huh?
We're talking about our European neighbors over there. I don't know that they're really neighbors, but they are saying it's warm and perfect there, and they said they put their sheep on pasture a month early.
Oh wow. Not here.
Not here, we barely got grass.